everybody, and welcome to the Sanctuary, where good pods happen. I am here with Bran and Bran only.
Hi, all of the Bran fans out there, all 5 of you. It's a really big episode for you. I know this past episode, you got a little tease. No tease today. All Bran all the time.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've been able to get Bran on the Sanctuary, and then Jonathan, Kristen, and Chase all decide to dip.
Yeah. It feels personal, but I'm going to try to not get offended by it. Speaking of fans out there, I do want to give a shout out to Johnny Bolt with 3 T's, who left a review on Apple Podcasts that says this is the best Survivor podcast. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
And that's saying something, because there's some really good Survivor podcasts out there.
Hey, dude, Johnny Bolt, that's a strong name, too.
Johnny Bolt with 3 T's.
I think Johnny Bolt should apply for Survivor.
No kidding. That guy could make it. But thanks to Johnny Bolt for the kind words.
Thank you, Johnny.
And leave a review on there. I see the comments as well on Spotify. Those are always really fun to see. You can comment on each episode and stuff. So thanks for the love, everybody. That's what we're trying to say.
Man, speaking of comments, this is it's been a big week for me.
Really?
I had a hastily thrown together Katy Perry cover that has made its way to both of the people that it was about.
That's a pretty big deal. I loved the track, and it was beautiful. The video was wonderful, and it makes me so happy that it made its way into the hands of the people that it's about.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, and thank you to Chase, because, man, that video. So I wrote the song that was Bianca's perspective on Thomas going home, and then Chase decides to spend, I think he told me, 2 hours on a TikTok music video style edit for it.
Now, I want to know, Thomas, obviously, we know this from the preseason episode, is in the music space, worked with Olivia Rodrigo. Have you gotten any calls from Thomas about maybe a future in the music industry?
But, even if Thomas doesn't call me, it's okay, because he did comment on the video, and he said that it was potentially the greatest piece of art that he had ever seen. And since he's worked with Olivia and Chappell Roan, I believe, he's never gone on the record and said Hot to Go was potentially one of the greatest pieces of art, or any of the hits from Olivia.
Driver's License, get out of here. Don't need
Deja
it.
Vu. He didn't say it about Deja Vu, but he said it about the one that got away version about himself.
It was beautiful. It brought a tear to my eye. I know that much. And it wasn't even about me. So I was just on a flight, flying home, listening, laughing, having a good time. And then the song came on, and people were checking on me. They were like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's happy tears. It's happy." Like, just
oh wow!
Beautiful.
So I hit you 10,000 feet in the air.
Dude, it hits different up there, for sure.
And apparently it hit different for Bianca, too, because I was told, by her in the comments that it made her tear up, which is insane to me.
How about that?
Yeah.
So I guess, now, do you feel the pressure now to put together a recap song at the end of every episode?
I'm retiring.
Okay,
this is the biggest, I won the Super Bowl, basically.
Yeah.
Writing it about them and getting them both to hear it. I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Now, take us a little bit behind the scenes here. If you want to, maybe let people know how the sausage is made. How did the song come to? That was a quick turnaround from episode airing, seeing Thomas get voted out, to when you guys recorded it, which was 24 hours.
I told Chase, hey, I would love it if you made a Thomas, TikTok music video set to Katy Perry's version of the song. So I had been listening to that version of the song, and I was like, well, what if I just...
As one does.
Yeah, I was listening to it. I had it in the rotation. What if I wrote it, and I ambushed Kristen and Chase on the podcast with my version about Thomas, and then I quickly realized that it had to be from Bianca's POV. I just...
Amazing.
Started listening to the instrumental. I found somebody uploaded a pretty good instrumental and just filled in the words.
Amazing. Listen, this is no shade to any of the other Survivor podcasts out there, but I think this is what Johnny Bolt's getting at right here. You won't find the one that got away cover remakes from Bianca's perspective on any other show. That's a Making the Merge original.
And one other behind the scenes thing is I was in Walmart and I knew I wasn't, like, I'm not a singer. I'm not going to hit the notes, but I want to be in the ballpark. So I just, I walked around with the one that got away, the Katy Perry studio version, on a loop for about 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, just doing laps around Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Guys, this is why we do the Sanctuary right here. It's where good pods happen and where good stories are told.
Now, I want to get your takes on the previous episode, since you only got to pop in after seeing half of it.
Yeah, I have since seen the full episode, and a really good episode. I had two thoughts while watching it, and you guys touched on it a little bit during the episode, but when the new Green Tribe, Vula, shows up, and they talk about how bad of shape the camp is in. One of the things that there's always conversations on the subreddit and whatnot for Survivor about how, Survivor has changed and not for the better and all of these different things. And, usually I roll my eyes at it and I'm like, whatever. But as I'm watching the older seasons, one of the things that I feel like they could maybe bring back, especially with the longer episodes now, is in that first episode, seeing the people building their camps. I feel like we don't really see it, and it's always really interesting to see how they're put together, especially with not really having any tools or anything like that. And so I feel like part of the reason why it was such a surprise to us when they walked up and saw it is because we don't get the footage of them struggling to put together the camp, even though the episodes are longer than they ever have been. Like if they could find time in a 41-minute episode back at 20 years ago, you'd think they could find some time in the hour 21 or whatever it is now. So that was one thought I had, where I feel like that moment is a lot more powerful when you see the tribe that was there previously struggling to make camp and to survive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, maybe we could cut a little bit from like David's relationship or not relationship. It's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure what to think about that. Maybe a little less time of that, and then we can get the fact that their camp life is miserable.
It felt like, for a long time, it was always just about how hard it is living and surviving. And I feel like you do still get some of that, day 20 and onward. But it used to be like immediately they were just like miserable for the first few days because they had, didn't have anything to begin with. And so I feel like that's missing a little bit, and that was part of what I was like, oh, this could have been a really powerful moment of this team showing up and being like, oh, this sucks. But instead we were just kind of like, oh, we didn't even know.
Maybe it was more powerful because we had no idea.
Yeah, maybe. And then the other thought I had, and this is, I think, the tension between Survivor fans of, how Survivor has continued to throw in these wrenches in the game, the idols, the beware advantages, the going on a thing and trying to, you might lose your vote, whatever it is. I've always been like, I think it's fun. And I think part of the reason, I think that it's so fun is like the Mary episode. Mary is saved because of all of the crazy things. Without all the crazy things, without the shot in the dark, Mary's not saved. But then at the end of last week, Thomas gets voted out. And I was like, I kind of wish that Kyle just would have gone home. Because if you're asking me the player that I want to spend more time with, I'm saying Thomas every day of the week. Because he's just such an interesting character. And the only reason why Thomas goes home is because of all of the curveballs that they've entered into the game. And I wonder if all of these curveballs are kind of making us lose really good characters earlier than if we didn't have any of it, if it was pure Survivor, if you will. Because I feel like in watching these older seasons, which I'm going through right now, what tends to happen is the best for the most part. There's some things that, happen, but the best of the best tend to rise to the top, and then they kind of fight it out once the merge happens, and that kind of plays out as it will. But now that we have all these little things going on, you lose people like Thomas because he's such a threat. They see him as such a threat. And they know that
or like John Lovett, the first boot of last season.
100%. And I think that part of that is just, the game design that they have kind of gone further into in the new era. I want to hear your thoughts on it, because on one hand, it saves Mary, and I think that's a win for all of us. On the other hand, we now lose Thomas because of it, and so maybe that is proof that it is a good thing. It is good for the game. I don't know.
But the John Lovett thing was purely a vote. There was no.
That was a clean vote.
So yeah,
that was a clean vote.
That comparison wasn't exactly right by me. But I think the Thomas situation in this episode, it depends on your perspective whether you think it's good or bad for the game. Because from my perspective, it's great. It's great for my team.
Of course,
I'm a general in the commilitary, so it's good that she has her ally there. So like for me, that's what I was rooting for. And the fact that they got to pull off some crazy move and use the advantages and do it in a way that completely shocked the California girls, I enjoyed it. But I could see where, and I love Thomas. Like I wrote a song about Thomas. I'm a fan of Thomas. I could see where if you were a huge Thomas fan and you didn't have the investment in the commilitary like me, then it would be very upsetting to you.
Yeah, I wanted to throw out this idea that I had, like in listening to On Fire, and you guys I think brought it up, that Jeff said basically this isn't the last we'll see of Thomas, kind of alluded to it. And one of the things we have texted about a little bit over the past couple of weeks is, I don't even remember what season it was at this point because I'm just blowing through them. But when they brought back the people for the second chance crew, and they could bring two people. You think it might be coming back this season? Maybe Thomas comes back before 50. Maybe they bring it back this season.
No, I don't think they will ever bring back that twist. I think we'll get Thomas on like a second chances kind of season. And I think Genevieve would also be a really good pick for that.
Yep.
We got a notification from Genevieve earlier, which shocked me because I heard she's very offline.
Okay. What was it?
It was that she liked the song.
Did she follow us in the process?
She did not. No, wow. And her account is private, so respect to Genevieve for that.
So that means that somebody probably texted it to her.
Probably,
man.
Or she's just on the algorithm sometimes.
Maybe. Sometimes the algorithm gets you. That's exactly right. That's what we're banking on. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the episode. Overall, a great episode, but I think I'm thinking a lot more about the new era versus the old era because I'm literally watching them side by side right now.
Yeah.
And by and large, I kind of roll my eyes at the people that are just like, Survivor sucks now, it's different, because those people are the same people that complain about all sorts of stuff. That's just like, things change, things evolve. You don't really want things to stay the exact same. You don't. You're lying to yourself. And Survivor's always been a game where twists happen. Some good, some bad.
Those complaints usually come from a place of like, the person I liked went home because of this, I think.
For sure. Yeah. I just think there might be something to maybe it's oversaturated now with the way in which you can stay in the game or whatever it is, idols, bewares, etc. But I don't know.
Well, this would be a good time to talk about the season 50 voting.
Let's do it.
Because we got to vote on exactly
this. I did vote. I vote.
The first one I'm going to talk about is deciding like the influence that advantages have in the game. I'll read it out. So, more gameplay. Advantages are an exciting way to give players the power to influence the game. How much power do you want advantages to have in Survivor 50? Minimal power. I want advantages to be rare and limited in power, forcing players to rely primarily on their strategic, social, and physical abilities. And then strategic power. I want advantages that are just powerful enough to create some uncertainty and adding a layer of complexity for the players to deal with. And then dynamic power. And that scared me when I read it. It says, I want to amplify the impact and fun of advantages so they offer enough power to shake up the game so that the players on the bottom have a fighting chance. So that's like the Mario Party option.
Yeah. What did you vote?
I voted minimal.
Okay. It's been a few days now. I want to say I also voted minimal. And this isn't like I want Survivor to go back to minimal. I'm thinking season 50. I'm thinking All-Stars. These are the best of the best players. So just let them play. Let them cook.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like since it's season 50, it's kind of like the ultimate All-Star season, I think is what they're going for. So let's just let the players play.
Did we get the results yet?
We haven't got. I don't think we have gotten the results on any of it. I don't think they can post it because then the players would know because they haven't started filming yet.
I felt like I saw some Instagram account post some sort of result, but maybe it was not.
I think it was their own poll.
Okay.
Because I saw that too, and I hadn't written it down, and then I was like, oh, wait, this is not official. So the next thing to vote on was the Final Four Challenge, and people were pretty upset there wasn't a straight endurance option. But, guys, Jeff is 60, and I don't think he wants to be out for 8 hours in the middle of the night anymore.
No.
Like it's not going to happen again. Just move on.
Not going to happen.
So the challenges, they didn't name them. I think they have names, but I only remember one of the names. The first option, I think they drop a ball, and then they have to go build a puzzle.
Yep.
It was in 46. This is the one they did for 46, right? Did you watch that season?
I did watch that one.
Yeah, so that was the one where like the ball, it takes forever to come back around, but they have to be watching so it doesn't hit while they're building the puzzle, or else they have to restart.
That first one is the one that's like the Plinko board, right? Like you kind of shoot it up to the Plinko thing, and then it trickles down. So it varies in speed depending on the pegs that it hits and whatnot.
The second one, it just looks like a generic.
Is anybody asking for more obstacle courses?
Yeah, it looks just like a standard immunity challenge that you get in the first couple episodes, but
yeah.
And then the third one, and I'll just say it now. This is what I voted for. Is called Samotion. Have you seen this one before?
I have seen this one.
I enjoyed this one a lot. It's really simple.
I love this one.
But it's captivating watching the balls spin around and people slowly get eliminated. And it looks really tough. They just stand in the same spot. There's not too much going on.
Yes, you are correct, by the way. I was talking about the All Winners Survivor Instagram page, and they are the results from their stories, which I do have. And so I can share them with you if you want. It's not, this isn't a sure thing, obviously, but it is, this is a page for Survivor fans. So you would think that the results are maybe similar, but I don't know. For the first one, for advantages, 48% of people voted for strategic power. 36 for minimal and 16 for dynamic, which is interesting. For the game, the Samotion with 40%, puzzle with 34%, and then 26 for the obstacle. And then 87% of people say yes, tribal switch.
Okay, yeah, that was the other one. Do we want them to switch tribes or not?
Yeah, I love a tribe swap.
For the draft, it would be better for us to know that the people are going to stay where they're at the whole time. But for Survivor, it's a lot more fun. So I'm gonna pick the tribe swap every day.
Yes. And this is a great point to the people that are like, the game has gotten too complex. Like, the original tribe swap was a twist that didn't start in season 1. It was season 3, I believe, or season 4 was the initial one, Africa. And at the time, they didn't know that was a thing that could happen. And so it messes up what you're planning on doing. It is a form of an advantage depending on who you are. For the people that were at the bottom, when the tribe swap happens, it changes everything for them. And so, like, Survivor is a game full of twists. A lot of it is luck. And so it is what it is. Like, the idols and stuff, it is what it is. It's a form of a twist. It's a Survivor staple.
And look what happened to Mary in this last episode. She got a tribe switch, and then she cried tears of joy.
Oh, I love Mary. This was honestly, I would have been very shocked if they did this episode without a swap. Like, I don't know. Like, they were down to 3. So it's like you kind of need a swap to happen. And it was great. It was great for Mary. I think it was great for Say and great for Cedric.
Yeah, I do think casting should have taken a look at Vula and thought maybe they could use a California girl.
Maybe one of the California girls.
Or David, or just somebody like that on that team. But maybe this is the outcome that they wanted. It's possible.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Evil Jeff. Let's talk about Jeff not being evil. Great segue. Let's talk about Jeff being emotional. Because, can you set this up for us, this 30-second piece that CBS put out?
I sure can, because I've seen it 1,000 times at this point. For anybody who has been watching March Madness on CBS, as I have, about once every commercial break, and there's a lot of commercial breaks during basketball, a promo for Survivor, the next episode airs, of varying length. There's a 30-second version. There's a 10-second version. Sometimes they just put it at the bottom of the screen during basketball.
Just
and
Jeff crying?
One of the guys, no, it's just like a Survivor. One of the guys is like, "You won't believe what happens this week on Survivor." So
Has Kevin Harlan said that?
Yes.
Oh, can we clip
believe
that?
it. I wish I could do a better Kevin Harlan.
But can we clip Kevin Harlan saying that? I would love to have that for future.
I'll try to find it. But anyway, yes, the gist of it is it's a very ominous promotional. It's shots of the beach going around. There's some voices in the background like "I gotcha" or something like that, and then it cuts to Jeff. And we see Jeff, and it looks like he's crying. It looks like he's got tears in his eyes. And I don't even remember what he says, but it's something like, "I've never seen anything like this before."
Yeah, like this has never happened, or something like that.
And so there's lots of theories out there about what this is. Everything from a horrible medevac to Jeff's not even crying. He's just got sunscreen in his eyes. Like, so it's all on the table at this point.
What I was thinking, this is what I want it to be. I want somebody to be talking about their dog, and maybe they have like 3 dogs, and then Jeff just breaks down because he loves dogs so much.
He misses his dog. He misses it. You think his dog comes to Fiji with him?
I mean, he spends so much time there. I think probably. I don't know.
I'm going to email the On Fire email address and ask Jeff.
Okay, yeah.
I'll try to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, my thought process on this is I doubt that it is a medevac. I think Jeff has seen so many injuries, crazy stuff happens that causes somebody to leave the game, and he's never once gotten close to tears. I think at that point, like, I don't know what would have to happen. Like, someone would have to get cut in half for him to be like, "Oh my gosh." Because he's seen so much crazy stuff. So I don't think it's that. I do think it is probably going to be more on the heartwarming side of things.
No, that's why they're running the ads for it. Because if it was a medevac, they wouldn't be telling everybody in the world, "Hey, come look at this person get injured.
Come look at our horrible mistake. We didn't plan well enough and someone died. Come watch it."
But people seem to think it's about Eva. That's the popular theory.
Yeah.
Chase brought that up in the group chat, to which I don't know why. Maybe I was in a bad mood. I was like, "Hey, look, I mean, people are going crazy. Like, why is Jeff crying?" I'm like, just wait. We're going to find out.
Yeah. We live in a world where we don't like to wait for things. And Survivor's one of the things that we have to still wait every week for. And so I get it. I'm curious. I'm not losing sleep over it.
Some people are. I think some people are, for sure.
Why is Jeff crying?
Maybe that's why Chase couldn't come on the podcast today, because he personally has been.
What was weird, though, is if it is this huge, big moment, why was it on the next week on Survivor after the episode that just aired?
Good question. I don't even, at this point, remember. I think, Say is in trouble. That's all I remember from the preview.
And yes, Say is, Say's going nuts again. So, Say had an off week. Say got to chill out.
Say and Mary got their off week.
Yeah, Say's back to doing crazy stuff. That was the next week on Survivor. And that is why I was confused. I was like, did I miss something? When this promo, because I saw it. I saw the next week on Survivor, and Jeff's tears were nowhere to be found.
No, I think that maybe this is Survivor trying to win awards And they're trying to get like I think Survivor's trying to take home an Emmy this year, and they think this is the scene that's going to do it.
Best promo. Best promo to air during March Madness.
Best promo read by Kevin Harlan goes to Survivor.
I'm going to get that audio. Believe
Yeah.
by next episode, I'll get it for you.
And then maybe it'd be good to have Kevin Harlan saying, "The guy is drunk." You know that one, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm all about Kevin Harlan saying anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm a big Kevin Harlan fan. There's a couple deleted scenes from the episode that I would like to talk about. The first one.
How do people get these scenes, by the way? It's not like...
Survivor puts them out.
They put them out. Okay, great.
Survivor sends... I think they either post them officially or they like send them out through other channels. So like Entertainment Weekly might get their own to post on YouTube.
I mean,
that's how that works.
So CBS, you have our email.
Yeah, we would love to post one.
Well, I'll take a behind-the-scenes footage.
So before the tribe swap, everybody got rained on. In the episode, we only saw Cedric, and Mary getting rained on. But no, it turns out when it rains on one beach in Fiji, the other two also get hit. And what we got in the scene was Bianca saying that she really hopes Siva was going to be hit harder than Vula. And then we cut to Siva, and they're all enthusiastically singing around a campfire. It's just like all five.
They're loving life.
Yeah, I could pull up the song if you'd like to hear it.
I'd like to hear it.
Standing by the fire, getting a little wet. Might be a little unhappy, but I'm with my new friends. Hey, standing by the fire, getting a little wet.
They wrote a song.
They wrote a song.
I was thinking it's going to be like Lean on Me or something.
No, they made up their own song. I think Charity was taking the lead there, but I heard everybody joining in.
How about that?
Yeah, they're all dancing, like
I gotta
standing
be
up in
honest.
the rain.
That would 100% be me on Survivor. I'd be making up songs left and right, for better or worse. It might be my demise, but I don't know who started the song, but kudos.
Yeah, maybe this is naive, and maybe I wouldn't feel this way like if I was on the bottom on Survivor, but I think every day I woke up on Survivor, I'd be like, this is sick. I'm on Survivor.
Awesome.
But that probably goes away pretty quick, I would imagine.
I think hunger,
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
to kind
Like
of be
after
like, oh.
You probably have the initial half a day of like, oh my gosh, I'm on Survivor.
I did love the people coming into Tribal. They look like I've never seen people react that way.
The big eyes.
Yeah, the big eyes looking at where there could have been a war. They were blown away. I love that.
Baby.
It has that effect on people, which is, I guess maybe they're onto something.
And we have one more deleted scene to talk about. Would you like to talk about that one since it's your guy?
Yeah. Okay. So Shaheen is my guy. You know I love him. He's down there. He's meditating on the beach. He talked about how he told his family and his friends before he left to put out into the universe good vibes, and he even said calories. And he would sit every day. He'd go out to the beach and he would, hold his palms out, meditate, and take it all in. He would receive it. It's beautiful. Love to see it. But his meditation can only be so strong because behind him is Star, who is telling a story very loudly. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, why can't he just walk down the beach? That's a good question. I don't know why you would do your meditation so close to the rest of your tribe. I think that kind of defeats a bit of the purpose of the meditation, but he does not. He's very frustrated. He goes over and he's talking to Eva, I believe, ranting about Star and how loud Star is. And it's a shame that we didn't get to see this on the TV, because I think Star Updates would have had a lot to say about this. Star Update, Shaheen does not move. But we do not get it. It's just a deleted scene. But interesting, I do think it shows a side of Shaheen that I didn't love, that he was being so passive aggressive about it.
And maybe that's why they didn't want to include it, because they want you to like him.
Yeah, didn't like that. And it kind of, for the first time, I kind of found myself liking Star a little bit. Like Star's over that. Like we haven't seen Star really interact with the tribe, and so Star is up there like doing bits, doing a stand-up routine, whatever it was that Star was doing, and so I kind of wish that they would have included it for those two. Like I want to get the full picture of these characters.
Yeah, I thought it made for a good dynamic in that scene, but I understand why they cut it because it had no impact on the rest of the story. But I want to say that Star's stand-up bit, I did find it hard to follow. I mean, I only watched the clip once. Maybe if I watched it back a second time, I'd get it. But something to do with
Star is something
Nicki
about
Minaj?
childbirth as well.
And Nicki
Yes.
Minaj.
Yeah, I think we were getting bits of it. I don't think we got the full uncut.
Okay.
Star, if you want to send us the whole uncut story, we'd love to hear it.
Actually,
I think
Star,
it's
please do.
A friend of, this is the best I can figure, a friend of yours wanted to give birth to a Nicki Minaj song and wanted the baby to be born at a specific point of that song.
Wow.
That's what I'm getting from it. And so the song played through Baby Not Born. They had to restart the song. and that's the push, if you will, of childbirth.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little bit unexpected. You can't time it perfectly. But that was what I heard. But Star, please let me know if I'm incorrect.
Yeah, Star, please. I mean, you can take 10 minutes if you want. Please give us the full story.
Full story. We'll air it uncut.
Yeah. We won't even censor it or anything.
No, we don't care. Let it out.
I'd love to have a personal Star update. Well, I mean, I think that does it for the sanctuary where good pods happen.
I was just going to say, I thought it was really good. I thought we did a really good job, you and I. Everybody else, kind of sucks. But what's Jonathan doing? Where Jonathan released his big video? He released his big video. It was like, oh, I got this one thing I have to do sometime over the course of days. I can't possibly show up to record the thing.
Yeah.
And then the video came out. I watched the video. I don't know Balloon Shop. I found the video to be really great. And I was like, this is great news because that means that Jonathan is now going to be able to join us for the sanctuary, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan, this is the fourth week that we've been watching Survivor. This is the second consecutive week of him not losing a player. And you would think he would want to be around to brag about it.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But he's been AWOL. I'm getting a little bit concerned about him. At least we did have Kristen on the recap.
Oh, and we're better for it. Don't hear what I'm not saying. It was great. But yeah, I'm excited about this next episode. If for no other reason than we stop seeing the promotions of Jeff crying and we actually know the reason for it, I think that's going to be really wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm also excited to see if Jonathan shows up. I think it's going to be really fun. Place bets. Go to one of those betting apps where you can bet on dumb stuff and see if you can bet on whether or not Jonathan's going to show up.
Yeah, go to Survivor CBS Bet. If you have a gambling addiction, call Hope NY. That's what I've gathered from the football podcast I listen to. There's a lot of the numbers for gambling in a lot of different states that you can call.
Can I really quickly? I was just looking at my team again real quick because I still have 3 left. And we talked about David, and I just...
Have you seen his tweets?
I have not seen his tweets. I saw the one where he, was a little bit, upset that people were giving him a hard time about not getting a real job and whatnot. But I found him to be, for the first time, kind of likable in the most recent episode. Maybe it was just that he needed some girls around. He needed, to be the only guy. He wanted to feel like he's at home and he can relax and stop being this I'm this big buff guy, whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so I'm interested to see. Maybe this is what he needed. Maybe the swap is what David needed.
Well, how did you react personally to the news that there might not be a girlfriend? Because me and Chase were losing our minds.
It was the least shocking thing I've ever heard in my life. I heard the first story and was like, oh, this guy doesn't have a girlfriend anymore. 100%. 100%.
But I guess I was just thrown off by the verbiage, like when every time he said my girlfriend, it just, I believed him. And that was the problem.
You did a crazy thing where you believed somebody. Yeah. I get it. No, but when he
I
said,
shouldn't have believed him.
Yeah, when he said that his girlfriend broke up with him because he doesn't have any money, my first thought was, oh, did he get some mail or something, a call? Did someone call his beeper? But then I was like, oh, this tracks. This guy is a little bit oblivious to what's going on.
He's kind of like a Sue.
That's right. Let me see really quickly if David's cameo price has gone up at all, and then we can be done. I just Googled David cameo. That was the dumbest thing. The worst way I could do that. Okay, Survivor, 48. Do you remember when I was surprised to find out that Shaheen's 48 was the season? Nope, he's still at $28. So he hasn't raised it, but he actually has fulfilled a few. So maybe we can reach out to David at some point.
Maybe we should. I don't know if he would like us.
Yeah, he might not. He might be like, I heard about you guys. Go see my tweet. But
he might be like, I watched your clips. I don't want to do a cameo for you. But on one of them, we did put we heart David.
We do heart.
So I think that makes up for it. Yeah,
we've come around.
And Mary does too.
You gotta admit, like, your early edit wasn't great.
No, you're a little bit all over the place, but you bounced back this week.
Bouncing back. All right, I can't wait to be back with you later this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on back.
Yep, I can't wait. All right, guys, this was the Sanctuary where a good pod happened.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening, or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.